The story of the people of the ditch, Ashabul Ukhdud. This is one of the most powerful stories of faith ever told. It is a story of courage, sacrifice, and unshakable belief in Allah. It is a story that happened long before the coming of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, in a time when darkness covered the land and many people had forgotten the truth about their Creator. In that land there ruled a tyrant king. He was arrogant, powerful, and feared by everyone. Over time, pride filled his heart so deeply that he forgot he was only a servant of Allah like every other human being. Eventually, he reached a terrifying level of arrogance. He began demanding that people worship him. Anyone who refused would be punished or even killed. The people of the kingdom lived in constant fear. Not only because of the king's army, but because the king had another source of power. A powerful magician served in his court. This magician was the hidden pillar of the king's authority. Through illusions, tricks, and fear, he helped the king control the people. Anyone who dared to say that the king was not a god would quickly face terrible consequences. And so the people lived quietly, suppressing the truth in their hearts. But Allah's plan is always greater than the plans of tyrants. Sometimes the fall of a great power does not come from armies or kings. Sometimes it begins with something very small. In this case, it began with a young boy. A boy with no sword. No army. No wealth. Only faith. And through him, Allah would shake an entire kingdom. As the years passed, the king's magician began to grow very old. His hair turned white. His body became weak. He knew that his time in this world was coming to an end. One day he came before the king and spoke with a tired voice. "My king, I have grown old. My strength is leaving me. Soon I will die. You must choose a young boy from the people so that I can teach him my knowledge before I pass away." The king agreed immediately. He ordered his men to search the town for a boy who was intelligent and quick to learn. After a long search, they finally found a young boy who was known for his sharp mind and strong character. The boy was brought to the magician. From that day forward, he was required to visit the magician every day to learn the ways of magic. But something unexpected happened along the road he traveled each day. On that road lived a righteous worshipper of Allah. This man had devoted his life to worship and teaching the truth quietly, away from the corruption of the king's court. One day the boy stopped and listened to him speak. The man spoke about Allah. He spoke about the Creator of the heavens and the earth. He explained that there is only one true Lord. The boy listened carefully. Something about these words touched his heart. They felt pure. They felt true. From that day on, the boy began stopping to learn from this righteous teacher. Soon the boy found himself living between two worlds. Every morning he would go to the magician and learn magic. But in his heart he knew it was false. And every evening he would sit with the righteous teacher and learn about faith, truth, and the oneness of Allah. Sometimes the boy would arrive late to the magician. The magician would beat him harshly. Other times he would arrive home late and his family would punish him. But despite the pain, the boy continued learning the truth. Because deep in his heart, he knew he had found something real. One day something extraordinary happened. As the boy walked along the road, he found a large crowd of people gathered in fear. A terrifying beast had appeared and blocked the road. No one dared to pass. The people stood frozen, unable to move forward. The boy looked at the situation carefully. Then he thought to himself, "Today I will discover which path is true. Is the magician upon the truth, or is the worshipper of Allah upon the truth?" He picked up a small stone. He raised his hand toward the sky and made a sincere supplication. "O Allah, if the path of this righteous teacher is the truth, then let this stone kill this beast so the people may pass." Then he threw the stone. The stone struck the beast. Immediately the creature collapsed and died. The crowd gasped in shock. The road was clear. The people passed safely. At that moment the boy knew without any doubt that Allah was with him. From that day forward, Allah gave the boy a special blessing. Whenever sick people came to him, he would pray to Allah for them. And by Allah's permission, they were healed. The blind began to see. The sick recovered. People who had lost hope found relief. Soon news about the boy spread across the entire city. In the king's palace there was a high-ranking official who had gone blind. When he heard about the boy, he went to see him carrying many expensive gifts. He placed them before the boy and said, "All of these will be yours if you restore my sight." The boy calmly replied, "I do not heal anyone. Allah alone is the one who heals. If you believe in Allah, I will pray for you." The man accepted the truth immediately. The boy prayed for him. And by Allah's permission, his sight returned. The man returned to the palace able to see. When the king noticed this, he was shocked. "Who restored your sight?" the king demanded. The man answered, "My lord." The king became angry. "You mean me?" The man replied firmly, "No. My lord and your lord, Allah." Rage filled the king's heart. He ordered the man to be tortured until he revealed the boy. Soon the boy was brought before the king. The righteous teacher was also captured. The king demanded that the teacher abandon his faith. But the teacher refused. The king ordered a saw to be brought. In front of everyone, the teacher was cut in half. Yet even this did not shake the boy's faith. The king then tried several times to kill the boy. Soldiers took him to the top of a mountain to throw him off. But the boy prayed to Allah. The mountain shook violently. The soldiers fell to their deaths. The boy walked back to the king unharmed. The king tried again, sending soldiers to drown him in the sea. But the boy prayed again. The ship overturned. The soldiers drowned. The boy returned safely once more. Finally the boy spoke to the king. "You will never be able to kill me unless you do exactly what I tell you." The king leaned forward with interest. "What must I do?" The boy said, "Gather all the people of the kingdom. Tie me to a tree. Take an arrow from my quiver. Then say out loud, 'In the name of Allah, the Lord of this boy.' Then shoot the arrow." The king was desperate to end the boy's life. So he followed the instructions. The entire city gathered to watch. The king took the arrow. He raised it and shouted, "In the name of Allah, the Lord of this boy." He released the arrow. The arrow struck the boy in the head. The boy fell and died as a martyr. The king shouted in victory. But suddenly something unexpected happened. A voice from the crowd said, "We believe in the Lord of this boy." Then another voice repeated it. Then another. Soon the entire crowd was declaring the same words. "We believe in the Lord of this boy." The king realized the terrible truth. He had just spread the very faith he wanted to destroy. Blinded by rage, the king ordered massive trenches to be dug in the ground. Huge fires were lit inside them. Then he made a cruel announcement. Anyone who refused to abandon their faith in Allah would be thrown into the fire. But the believers did not turn back. One by one they walked toward the flames with courage. They chose faith over life. Among them was a woman holding her baby. For a moment she hesitated. The fire roared before her. Then, by the permission of Allah, the baby spoke. "O mother, be patient. You are upon the truth." Hearing this, the mother found strength. She stepped forward into the fire holding her child. And they both entered paradise. The eternal lesson. This is the story of Ashabul Ukhdud. It teaches us something powerful. Truth does not need an army to survive. Sometimes it begins with just one believer. And even if that believer dies, the truth they carried continues to live forever. If you enjoyed this story and want to see the next chapter, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the continuation. And if this video fascinated you, please take a moment to like the video. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to bring you more incredible stories like this. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends and family so they can experience this amazing story too. Thank you so much for watching, and we truly appreciate your support.